Sellers do not have to pay commissions anymore in real estate transactions. Do I have your attention? As you are probably aware, on Friday, March 15th, the National Association of Realtors entered into a nationwide settlement agreement that would resolve the broker commission lawsuits brought by home sellers against it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Chris Spade at Keller Williams Realty, and I make all these videos to help you make sense of the real estate market. If you would do me a huge favor, click on that subscribe button and click that little bell so you can be notified every single time we drop fresh new content. That would be awesome. Also, please share this video with someone that might find value in it. Now, the media way to have you believe there is a sweeping change that will drive home prices down. That's wrong. It's only going to make the possibility of homeownership cost more, so let me explain how this whole thing is going to work out. Right now, traditionally, as a listing agent, I negotiate a fee with my seller on how much the commission will be. Did you catch that? I negotiate my fee. Commissions have always been negotiable. I then share that commission with the seller who is paying me with the buyer's agent. Now that share or split is determined by the listing agent and the seller at the time of the signing of the listing agreement. So what's changed? If the lawsuit is approved, the seller would no longer have to offer a commission to the buyer's agent. Actually, they never really had to, but doing so brought more buyers to the home, so sellers always have offered a commission. Now, under the settlement, they don't have to advertise or offer a commission, which means it's up to the buyer to pay their agent. But back to what the media wants you to believe for a quick second. They want you to think that it will drive home prices down. Listen, a home is only worth what a buyer's willing to pay and what a seller's willing to sell. So smart sellers will still offer commissions to drive up prices, because believe me, if a buyer doesn't have to pay a commission, they will pay more for the home. This is not going to drive home prices down. Also, those sellers who brought the lawsuit are eventually going to turn back into buyers, so they're going to have to pay their agents anyway. Do you get where this is headed? So let's break down the new rules. Buyer representation agreements will be required. Agents working with buyers must sign a written representation agreement with the buyer before the agent can show a home listed on the MLS. So gone are the days where you can just get an agent to show you a home because you just wanted to see it. I mean, you're still going to be able to go to open houses, but that's about it. Unless inconsistent with federal or state laws, buyer representation agreements must include at least 3 things. Number 1, agents must disclose the amount or rate of compensation they will receive and how this amount will be determined. Number 2, the amount of compensation must be set in the agreement, such as a percentage or dollar amount, and that cannot be open-ended. So for example, the agreement cannot say buyer broker compensation shall be the amount the seller is offering, because let's face it, that could be $1. Number 3, agents cannot receive compensation for brokerage services from any source more than the amount or rate to agreed upon in the representation agreement. In other words, a buyer's agent can't get a commission from both the seller and the buyer on the same property. So here's yet more changes. So agents cannot make offers of cooperative compensation on the MLS whatsoever. MLSs must eliminate all broker compensation fields on the MLS and prohibit the sharing of offers of cooperative compensation in any other MLS field. Right now, as of today, you can see what an agent's being paid on sites like Zillow and Redfin. Those are going to go away if this settlement is approved. Sellers can offer concessions to a buyer in public comments field in the MLS if the concessions are not conditioned on paying a buyer's agent's commission. However, as part of the negotiation of the purchase contract, sellers and buyers can agree to apply the concessions to the buyer's agent's commission. Now, as a practical matter, even though it cannot be called cooperative compensation, the seller's amount of the seller's concession can match the amount of the seller would pay as a cooperative compensation as part of the contract negotiations. That's a mouthful. Offers of cooperative compensation may be made off the MLS. Nothing in NAR settlement prohibits sellers or listing agents from making offers of cooperative compensation to buyer's agents off the MLS, like in the emails, newsletters, calls, texts, etc. But before listing agents can offer compensation to buyer's agents, they must disclose and obtain seller's approval and get it in writing. Now, Also, an MLS can't require agents to make or accept offers of cooperative compensation as a condition of joining participating MLSs, so you don't have to worry about your property not getting seen. Now, brokers can publish offers of cooperative compensation for their own listings on their own websites. Although MLSs are prohibited from publishing cooperative compensation offers, the settlement allows brokers to publish their seller-approved cooperative compensation offers for their own listings, but not other brokers' listings on their own websites. Are you still with me? So agents must make commission disclosures. Agents must disclose in listing agreements, buyer representation agreements, and pre-closing disclosures that broker commissions are not set by law and are fully negotiable, like it has always been. NAR must require realtor boards and MLSs to include these disclosures in any forms or agreement that they publish. More forms are coming to sign, yay! That was a mouthful, it was a lot. Now, this has not all been approved by the courts, and it looks as though it may happen, but nothing is set in stone, so none of this is official just yet. Now, the question has been brought up, what if I want to buy a house and I can't afford to pay a buyer's agent? Can I go directly to the listing agent? And what about VA buyers who cannot, under law, pay broker compensation? Well, as far as the VA is concerned, I think you're going to start seeing those rules change. If a settlement is approved, and I think VA buyers, they're probably going to end up being able to finance their buyer's agent commission as part of their total closing costs and finance that as part of their loan. Secondly, you could probably go directly to the listing agent to buy a home, but it's likely that the listing agent is going to require compensation to work with you for insurance and legal reasons. Now, you could represent yourself as a buyer. That is always an option too. There are still a lot of things to figure out, but the fact is that this is very fluid, and I will update you as things change. If this goes into effect, it will take place in July. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you think that this is going to drive down home prices? Do you think that you're not going to be able to buy a house in 2024 with all these changes? Do you think this is going to change the face of the real estate as we know it? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one.